Heidi-ho neighbors, Rado Goji here, and welcome to Squeeze the World Toys. Um, we're going to be continuing my series of reviews on the Kamen Rider X8 Level Up Rider gimmick figure series, with entry number 2, Kamen Rider Brave Quest Gamer. Uh, Brave is, as you can probably see, is written up here, is based off of RPGs. More specifically, like JRPGs, kind of like Dragon Quest, like fantasy themed ones, I mean to say, like Dragon Quest. More specifically, Dragon Quest, because Dragon Quest is like the thing in Japan. The box is quite similar to what we saw on X-Aids, so I'm still going to show it off, but I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. If you want to watch the X8 review, that was the last one I did, so you're going to want to see that. But yeah, we've got the main gimmick on the back. You can take your level 2 figure and turn them into level 1, and there's the Brave thing on the bottom, the logo. Let me try panning up and panning back down again. That seemed to help with the autofocus last time. Now, the eagle-eyed viewer will have noticed... Oh, there we go. Autofocused again. Yeah, there we go. There, now you saw it in clearness. The eagle-eyed viewer may notice that the box for Kamen Rider Brave is quite a bit smaller than the one we saw for X8. And the reasoning for this will become apparent when we take a look at the figure. I did kind of want to mention a little bit more of the theming here. The RPG, the in-universe RPG that Brave is based off of is called Tattle Quest. I'm not sure why they call it that. It seems kind of a weird name. Maybe it's just because it's kind of fantasy sounding. It sounds like a quest, at least to me it sounds like a quest to tell my mom that my older sibling has been picking on me, but it may have something to do with some sort of wordplay or something like that if you speak Japanese. I don't know. But yeah, as you can see here, this is all that we have here. We have the figure. We actually have the back face. The back face that goes in the back of the figure is not built on like it was with X8. I mean, like I showed before, they can come off, but this one actually has it off separately, and also his sword here. But yeah, as I explained at the end of the last review, it does not come with the level 1 shell. That only comes with X-Aid. So if you just wanted to get Brave, but you didn't want to buy X-Aid, but you still wanted to get level 1 Brave, you're SOL. So let's quickly go ahead and just put this on his back. There you go. The articulation is basically the same. It's basically the same sort of figure as X8, except he's blue, and he resembles a knight because he's an RPG guy. Posability is exactly the same. Same with the double-jointed knee. He does have a couple of other accessories and differences. For example, he has this crest up here that actually factors into the level 1 transformation. Sorry. Keep focused. Thank you. And also, he has this shield on his arm, which can come off. And something I did forget to point out is that all these figures have holes and slots all over them for different things that are going to become apparent as the reviews go on. But he does have this shield here, and the shield is actually kind of like his thing, but it does... I don't know where I was going with that, but it's a thing that's unique to him. It looks kind of cool, I suppose, but there are some things we can do with it, but it also does make some of the later, like, power-up modes and whatnot a little bit more difficult to deal with because it might get in the way. So anyway, Brave's weapon is, as you saw before, the Gashikon sword. Now, unlike the Gashikon Breaker, which came in 2 different forms, there was only one Gashikon sword, because in the show, it starts off as a fire sword, because... at least with with most stereotypical JRPGs or stereotypical fantasy RPGs, like the Japanese associate flame swords a lot, like fire swords a lot with that. So it is a fire sword. But if you push the A button, and even in the show it does this, the blade flips around and makes it an ice sword. So they didn't have to. This is something that they could have just easily done with the with what they were doing with it, and they didn't have to make 2 different versions of it. Like with the Breaker, it had the hammer and the sword and the blade forms were different molds because there really wasn't a way that they could make it so that the blade just kind of popped out like it does in the show. So this you can just swivel around. I guess it, kind of cuts down on costs for that. Also, again, nice detailing on the mold, but there's little to no paint applications. There is actually some paint here. The orange and the grayish silvery blue for the ice, basically so you can tell which one is active. But everything else is just molded in white. But much like Xaid and his trusty Gashikon Breaker weapon, Brave can hold the Gashikon sword fairly well. I haven't had any problems with this. I mean, it does flop around a little bit more than the Gashikon Breaker does, but not so much that it's a problem, I don't think. So you can do fire, or you can do ice. Pretty cool. I have to say that of the figures so far that I only have 3 of the main figures, and basically 1 through 3 right now. But I like, I mean, even knowing what all the other riders look like, I like actually Brave the best aesthetically. I mean, I've always liked RPGs more than other video game genres anyway. Plus, he looks pretty cool, so hopefully we can get him. We can get him in focus for when we do the level 1 treatment for him, because I do want to do that on here. Oh, now it doesn't want to do it. It's figured out that I've know how to make it work, and now it's basically just doing this to spite me. I swear to God, it's doing this just to spite me. Look up at the shelves. Now look back at the centerpiece of the presentation, please. Oh, well, I guess we're going to have to deal. So we're going to bring out the shell that came with Xaid, because they all use the exact same shell, unfortunately. So let's start transforming him. Now, there is a little bit more that we have to do here, and it would... I'm sorry I keep doing this. This is the only way... Oh, there we go. We got some finagling going on with the camera. There we go. Good. Now, stay there on the stand. Fantastic. You were doing fantastically, and now you didn't. I wish there was a way that I could... I don't really have a setup other than this that works well enough to do this kind of thing. So unfortunately, I have to contend with this a lot. So first things first, we actually are going to take off his shield here. We're going to take off the chest plate like normal. And we're actually going to take this crest and flip that around. And twist the arms and legs, transform them just like we did Xaid. There we go. And slide the face up. And basically what we've done with the crest on this helmet, we basically made it so that it's the same crest for the bigger face, and it lines up so that it's like in the same alignment as it was for the level 2 form, which is kind of neat, I think. So now let's pop him into the shell like before. And I don't know why this is being difficult. No, there we go. It's kind of putting it in at a stupid angle. I feel like I still am. Everything is lined up. I think the waist got out of whack. That should be better. There we go. Alright, well, it's not in there perfectly. I don't know why. I haven't had any problems with it up to now. Is it because... Is this not up all the way? Well, it's up all the way. There. Maybe... Sometimes it feels like the gashet holder, or the Kimewaza holder, or whatever you call it, on the side of his belt gets in the way a lot. At least to me. Because it's just like an extra bit of pushing that doesn't necessarily need to happen. Alright, well, that works, actually. And then, not only do we put the chest plate on there like normal, but we'll also put the shield in his other hand. That is actually part of the process there, because he does use the shield in level 1 as well. And if we can get him to stay in there properly, it's this arm, it's this shield arm, I swear. It's like fatter than the other arm, and that does cause some problems. And give him the sword, and now we've got Kamen Rider Brave at level 1. And again, basically any kind of complaints that I had with the level 1 X-Aid do hold true here, but aesthetically, because it is Kamen Rider Brave, I do like it a lot more. And you can actually see it a lot more clearly in this shot. So that does have that going for it, which is very nice. But yeah, it's the same sort of thing as level 1 X-Aid. It's just with Brave's face and shield and sword. And chest plate. But no real differences otherwise. So that's why this is much shorter of a video, because I don't have as much to show off. Also, I don't have huge spiels that I'm going to go through. But that's the way that is. So that is entry number 2 in the series, Kamen Rider Brave, as I quickly change him back for the ending shots. Overall, like I said, I do like Brave quite a bit more than X-Aid, and a lot of the other riders in this series of figures. Mainly for aesthetics. Like I said, as far as quality goes, it's the same as any of the other figures in the line. Same posability, same build quality, all that good stuff. But I just like him more aesthetically, so he is my favorite. So yeah, that's really all there is to him. So let's take a look at the back of the box and see who we've got next, shall we? Because this is going to be a recurring thing in the series too. It looks like it's going to be Kamen Rider Snipe. So join me for that. Yeah, I've been Rado Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?